What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. Today is the day. We are out here at Section 8 powder coating at Lou's shop. As you guys can see, I've got pool noodles on the trailer. That's because my car is done. It is ready to be picked up. It's going to be coming out here on the forklift any second. I am so friggin' fired up, you guys. This thing looks so good. I cannot wait to show it to you guys. So stick around. Here we go. We're picking our car up. Man, that looks good, boys. I helped Lou get it off the forklift and onto the trailer, but man, it looks like a whole different car. Everything just came out so good. Unfortunately, that color likes the dust, but we'll get that handled. I'm so stoked, you guys. You have no idea. Those pool noodles were perfect for what we were doing. All right, guys, well, she's loaded on the trailer, taking her home, and then we are off to, after we get this home, we're gonna drop this off, and then I'm headed out to Gear One, and we're gonna pick up some of their new boots. Gear One's they've got new boots. They're the G1 Super Boots, so we're gonna pick a set of those up for Cletus's car, because he's 934. I already have a set for my car. Parker gave them to me a while back, but we're gonna jump over to Gear One, stop in, like I said, pick those boots up, and then we're going to talk about them a little bit and what went into the manufacturing of them, as they went ahead and just redesigned the whole thing and made their own CV boot, which I think is freaking awesome. We're back at the house, back at my shop. I don't have Cleet's car done just yet, so I can get it out and use the lift to get this off the trailer. So I'm going to dump it here. I've got to run up to Gear One and get those Super Boots, and then I'll put the other arm on Cleet's car, get the CVs done tonight, get his car out, get my car in on the lift, and then I can put his underneath it so I can finish up the shift stuff. But dude, I am so stoked. This thing is freaking bad to the bone. All right, guys, so we're out here. We picked up the boots. We picked up a couple little things for my car too. They really don't want me filming too much inside there. There's a lot of proprietary stuff going on in there, and I get it. So as always, Parker and his dad hooked us up. Here's the new boots. These things are friggin' awesome. I can't wait to show you guys how these work. I know they look like a typical CV boot, but I'm gonna show you some new tricks that they added. Got the clamps, and then I've got some new Gear One hub covers. These are from my car. And as always, they are just taking care of us and hooking it up. So definitely appreciate that, guys. And I'll show you guys how these boots work when I get back over to the shop. Well, she's in the shop, guys. I'm gonna use my lift here to lift her up, pull the trailer out, get her set up on the lift, and man, I cannot wait to start putting this thing together. This car is gonna be friggin' epic. It looks black in certain light. The texture on it is killer. I know I whistle a lot. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. guys, well, we're out here in the shop today, putting her back together. Started going through all my old bolts and from when we disassembled it. I am gonna reuse some of the old stainless steel ones for the floor pans. I already had them, so we're gonna go ahead and reuse those. And they're stainless. Everything else I'm probably gonna replace. I wanna show you guys a cool trick that Joe showed me. And I know there was a lot of talk about shear versus double shear versus this being double shear or not being double shear. So to me, this tab is double sheared, and the why it's double sheared is because it's welded on this plane, and then it's welded on this plane, and it's welded on this plane. That's actually, to me, it's 1, 2, 3. And then a double shear tab would be this. It's welded on this plane, and it's welded. And then this tab, we double sheared it by adding this piece of plate here. So, guys, I do know what double shear is. I know I say a lot of things in the videos. I'm not making instructional videos here. I'm just showing you guys what I'm doing. And, you know, to me, this is triple. This is double. This is doubled. You know, technically, this could be tripled because it's 1, 2, 3 planes, but whatever. Anyways, the trick I wanted to show you guys, something I never would have thought of. And Joe's built so many of these cars with fresh powder coat that, you know, like I said, he's forgotten more than I'll ever know. When we were setting up the arms, he was having us put washers in here in between. And I couldn't figure out why. I thought maybe the tabs are gonna bend or something. And he said, no, dummy, it's for after you powder coat. So when my arms are in, you put it in without a washer, and look at that. That drops right in there, no problem. Because we spaced these with washers when we were assembling it in the alignment jig. So that way the arm and the bushing are gonna drop right back in, and the arm bolts right back into the car, and then it just rolls like butter. So cool little trick, man. If you guys are fabbing and you're gonna send something to powder coat, if you're doing something like this, put a couple washers on one side, and bingo, one washer on each side so it's even. And then when you go to put it back together, you got spacing. So we're putting the bushings in the rear arms now, the new Delrin bushings. Sleeves, new bolts, just basically the same thing I just did on Cleater's car. And we're gonna get the rear arms hung. Once the rear arms are hung, I can get the shocks on. So we're moving right along, and then it won't be long before this thing's a roller, because then all I have to do is get my midboard hubs, bolt them to the arms, and then put wheels on and it'll roll. And then I'll move on to the front arms and front spindles, get those shocks hung, and this thing will be a roller in no time. All right, first arm is on. I got the brand new King 16-inch coilovers, 18-inch bypasses on. This thing is gonna frickin' rip, dude. Look at all that shock travel. So I am fired up. We're gonna move to the other side, get the other arm put on, get the other shocks mocked up on that side. I am gonna replace all these bolts with all brand new hardware. I just got them stuck in there so I can kind of get the car almost in a roller state. After this is done, we'll move on to the front arms and the front shocks. And I got my supervisor here watching. Yep. So her color is her car. We'll keep getting her put together, but check out those brand new Kings, dude. Fire me up. These arms came out so good. Brandon killed it on the TIG welding. And he also TIG welded the car. Just friggin' beautiful work. I'm so stoked on this thing. It's coming out bitching. All right, I got the next arm in on this side. They just moved so well. All right, guys, it's the next morning. Heading out to the shop. Let's take a look where we left off last night. Oh, a little front A-arm action. The rears are all handled. Rear arms on. Got that one ready to go on. Shocks are on. And again, I just stuck some bolts through there to hold them in place. I'm gonna get all new hardware for this thing. Man, I'm fired up. This thing looks so good. All right, well, we got the front arms hung, got the spindles on. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to putting the front shocks on. And then minus bolting the back hubs up, this thing will be a roller. Friggin' stoked. It's coming along really, really well, and it's coming together fast. So the hardest part about putting the arms on is putting the spacers in, especially down here You've got to take a screwdriver and tap them in there. Plus all that thick powder coat does not help matters much, but they're all together now, and it was just kind of a pain, but I did forget to take my spindles apart and send these out for powder coat, but they don't look too bad black. I'm sure they'll clean up as soon as I get all the anti-seize off of them. I am covered in anti-seize, as you can tell. Here, this stuff gets everywhere. But if anything ever goes wrong, I want to be able to take this apart easily, and anti-seize is the way to do that. So I'll have the detail queen Sherry come in here and wipe all this down for me and make it nice and pretty. She's coming together, boys. Like I said, it's kind of a pain to get those on. I got the shocks on, and as you guys can tell, these are my old front shocks. They are used. These I got brand new. They're like a year old, but these I got used. I'm gonna have them all rebuilt and gone through, and then I'm probably gonna get these bodies Cerakoted. But I wanna get the car put back together so we can go out, shake it down, send the shocks over to Carl, send the car over to Carl at Shock Talk, have him dial in the suspension. Then I'll have the bodies Cerakoted, and the springs, whatever spring rates we end up with, I'll have those powder coated purple as well. So that's where we're at right now, guys, kind of at a stopping point. I'm gonna hop in my truck, head on over to SAND LIMO to Joe's. I gotta help him out with a couple things, but I'm also picking up my motor, my transmission, and a bunch of other parts for this car that I've got over at that shop. And I just had to set the wing on there. Oh, it looks so sick. I am so stoked on this thing. I keep saying it over and over, guys. I know I'm repeating myself. Got some complaints in the comments about that, but I'm just excited. This thing's badass. Well, as you guys saw from the time lapse, we got the transmission put in the car. This is no easy task. This thing is heavy. Probably it's the biggest transmission I've ever had, and it's got a Chevy LS bell housing on it, so makes it stick out. We're gonna go ahead and get this bolted in, and then we put the motor in, right?
Yes, sir.
Heck yeah. We're gonna rip and get my engine hoist out and get the motor dropped in this thing too. All right, guys. Well, transmission's all bolted in. Mike and Noah helped me get that in. We got the radiator in. Unfortunately, my boy Adam that got me the transmission did not get me the flywheel for this clutch, this twin disc clutch he got for me. And all I have is an LS flywheel. So we can't put the motor in yet today, but he's looking in his garage to see if he has the flywheel for me, because I don't want to have to buy a LS twin disc because they are not cheap. But yeah, just waiting on that, and then the motor will drop right in and we can start finishing this thing up. We've been moving forward even though I can't put the motor back in. Went ahead and dropped the fuel tank in and got the side deck pieces on. I got them taped in place so I could mark the holes from the bottom. And then those holes we did not drill in the chassis before it went to powder. I'm gonna drill holes now, and I'm gonna put riv nuts in there. That's what the gas tank's gonna bolt down to. And then there's tabs under here for these side pieces to bolt to. You guys can see we slid the radiator in place. I wanted to check the fitment, and I really like it. We dropped the radiator actually a little bit lower to the transmission than we normally do, and I really like it. Gives you a lot of room to see out of the rearview mirror, and the color, I just keep talking about the color contrast. It worked so good. It's perfect. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yep. Yeah, Sherry picked the colors. Came out so good. We're making some more progress. Got the nose skid on. And the nose skid we had already had coated when we had the floors coated, so I think that looks pretty cool being black. And then the charcoal gray, the metallic gray is just freaking killer. We're starting to get the side panels. I don't think I'm gonna put the full sides on yet. I'm gonna be doing a lot of leaning over when I'm wiring stuff, so I don't wanna scratch them all up. But man, it's coming out awesome. So guys, that's gonna wrap it up for part one of me putting my SAND LIMO Monster Cruiser back together. I wanna send a huge shout out to my buddy Mike and his son Noah for coming and helping me today put the transmission in the car. My buddy Adam is coming out to Arizona tomorrow, and he is bringing the flywheel with him. So we'll be able to get the motor in possibly tomorrow. So we are going to be leaving sometime this week to head out to Nebraska. We are racing PFI Speedfest 2 this coming weekend, Kearney, Nebraska. So as always, guys, make sure you give us a like and a subscribe, share this with your friends, and we will see you this weekend, Kearney, Nebraska.